Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me again is Morganne Rayne, Adept, visionary, spiritual guide, ceremonialist, and artist. Hello, Morgan.
Good morning from the Pacific Northwest. Hey, you said again that I'm an artist. I love that because I am. Can I show you what I've been working on? It's all
Yes,
about
definitely.
it's transfer.
Most definitely.
It's not done, but it's part of my transformation series. Uh,
Wow, another beautiful work. Wow, it's beautiful.
Thank you. So yeah, it's getting close, but it's just working with that concept of who we really are, right? It's like, what are we becoming? And for me, the butterfly has always kind of been a symbol of that. But that's not what we're going to talk about today.
But talking about butterflies, I find for me, since I get more spiritual, let's say, or since all this changes with me started when I go deep in myself and start exploring and learning and everything, I find I'm surrounded with butterflies. I'm literally surrounded with butterflies. I had butterflies last year till nearly October. I still see butterflies.
That's awesome.
And I once even fly in my home. Window was
Mhm.
opened and butterfly fly in the living room, yeah. And
Yep.
I was so happy it fly in, but I was straight away concerned. Yeah, I need release him. I need release him. It's no way he needs to be in my living room. And I release him, and off he fly. And I was like, but why I didn't take picture first? These few minutes won't make difference. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it was so beautiful. And sometimes I was visiting recently my friends, and there I came in and straight away in living room fly in butterfly with me.
So butterflies are a symbol of transformation, right? It's the becoming sign, and it's such a beautiful symbol to have blessing you. That's beautiful. You maybe want to play with that imagery of the butterfly, like I'm doing with my transformation series.
I think about that. Thank you. I will think
You're,
about.
you're welcome. Oh, well, transformation comes when we have a new image of what we are. True,
Yeah.
right? Because if we stay stuck like in an old image of who we are, or an old image of what people have told us we are, if we stay there, then we can have no transformation. We stay stuck in the same vibration, the same thought patterns, the same strategies that we've always used. And, when we continue to do the same thing over and over the same way, we're going to get the same results we always had. Right. So if we expect, oh, it should be different, well, we're going to get sorely disappointed because we haven't done the work that it takes to have a new vision for who we are. And so that's what Spirit's laid upon my heart today to talk about is what is our vision? Who are we? In the scriptures, it says that without a vision, the people perish. Well, what does that mean? So we can kind of see that in world events too. You can see it with cultures, you can see it with countries who have accepted a model of living which is not contributing to our becoming who we truly are, or even to tap into who that spiritual aspect of us, because the overall arching vision of some people and culture is that we are stuck in a model that is prepared for us, that keeps us small, that keeps us dependent on a system, that keeps us energetically shifted downward, and it's kind of where people start losing hope. They lose they don't even have a vision for their own life. So one way you can check, I love this way, is you can check what your vision is by just checking in on what's your joy factor. Are you experiencing joy? Because when you're experiencing joy and you're living up in those higher octaves, or those higher expressions of being, those higher frequencies that we've often talked about on the map of consciousness, when we're living in those higher octaves, we have a different vision for ourselves. And you can see people who have a lower vision for themselves, they are people who are complaining, and they're not moving, and they're stuck, and they don't try, and they've just given up, and they don't have any hope. So their vision has become a vision of a non-thriving, definitely not a metamorphosis or a transformation of the self. And I really believe that we come here to Earth, and I call it Earth School a lot, because it certainly feels that way. We get a lot of lessons, that's for sure. But if we don't take those lessons and grow from them, then we stay stuck in them. A lot of times we'll get lessons and we'll just become defeated. But the purpose of the lesson is to go, okay, wait a minute. I'm here. This is really, I'm checking in on my joy factor. This is not making me feel good. What would be a better vision for myself? And that's why we do the work we do, right, Daiga? Is we we help people shift from where they have believed they are having to be, where they have always been, maybe where their family culture has them, and they become people of purpose. And people with a vision are usually people with a purpose. And the greatest transformations and metamorphoses I know are people who have a grand vision. And I'll go back to Daiga, how we first met. We met in a humanitarian group. And these people who are humanitarians, they have a vision not only for themselves, but they have a vision for their world and for their culture and their people and their families. If you don't see someone who has a greater vision for themselves, for their families, and for the world, then they're going to be stuck in the old dynamic. They're going to be stuck in an old paradigm. And all you have to do is check in on how do you feel? Do you feel unhappy? Do you feel in despair? Do you feel without hope? So this is where we go to, if those are the feelings and you desire to come out of that and lift your consciousness, then it's time to have a new vision. And so in Hebrew, the word vision is translated as vision, oracle, or divine communication. So just let that sink in for a minute. Vision is interpreted in the Hebrew language as oracle or divine communication. So if we are not having divine communication, we cannot receive a vision that's worthy of who we are as the precious expressions of the divine that we were here, and that we were created to be, and that we are to be here in this life. And the other point, it too, is I would classify you and myself, Daiga, as being as spiritual leadership. And leaders do the kind of things we do, right? We practice all the time. We check in on where we are. We invite people into our realms that can help sustain us and help us not only carry the vision, and sustain it, but to elevate the vision, and also to give energy to the vision. So there's your check-in is, what's your joy factor? People with a vision smile a lot. People with a vision and big purpose are happy so much. So, and people with no vision, I mean, do you know people that are complaining and have no hope? I mean, I think we all do. But to surround ourselves and lend our own energy to those people who do have hope, who do have a grander vision. So it's to look at who we are as a people and a population, and see where there's that word see, which is also vision. See into the reality is, where are people at? Now, for me, when I'm doing my work, I don't do it just for myself. I do it for all, because that's my purpose, is to do it. So when I do my prayer work or my meditation, I do it as we are all one. And I believe that lifts us as a consciousness to a higher level of being. So, well, let me just check in, Daiga. Have you got any questions or?
No, I'm listening. I'm at the moment listening, and I don't have questions. I agreed with everything what you're saying at the moment.
Right,
completely.
Right. So now we're going to parallel this teaching with where we are in astrologically. I love doing that. And we're in a gibbous moon phase right now. And this whole time is this period of time. And we're moving into a full moon here pretty soon, I think on Saturday. Moon's pretty full right now. It disturbed my sleep with it pouring into the windows last night. But this time is about trust, and it's about believing. So I know we've had a conversation about the word believe, but we're going to take the higher octave of the word believe, is to form some new beliefs out of that trust. So how do we do that? And this is going to correlate with vision. This is going to start amping up your own personal vision. So a higher consciousness way of moving into creating a new vision or enhancing your vision would be move into joy, obviously. Find that joy factor within you. Do something that brings you joy. Think of something that brings you joy, so that it can start resonating, so it can start, like, joy. I love listening to the children play. Oh my goodness, I hear them giggle, and it just puts me immediately into joy. Even if I think about them out there giggling and running up the hills and going really too fast down the big hill, they are just giggling and having the greatest time. And I can't help but smile and remember what fun that was when I was a little girl. I wouldn't do it now, but I can still have the same experience by just tapping into their enthusiasm and to their joy. So other ways we can lift our consciousness is through catharsis. Is when issues or things come up, work with it. Be with it. Don't just wallow in it and let it bring you down. Allow it to be cathartic and move it out of your being. So one way that how it happens for me, and it may happen for others, is that if I'm working on something and or something surprises me, that's usually where it is. Like I'll have a thought form or an old memory come up, which you want them to do. You don't want to squish them down. You want them to come up. You want to live in a cathartic kind of state. Invite them up. So if something comes up and I go, oh, that's an old belief. That was when I was 3 years old. Oh, where do I feel that? Do I feel that in my body temple? Where do I feel it in my body temple? What thoughts are around it? So you can like totally extract that imagery or that memory peg and begin to make a new choice around it. And a lot of times these things are so entrapped in our bodies, we don't give them a place to leave. We just hold tight to them because we believe something about it. So this is where we get to change the belief. This is where we begin to have trust that there's a higher vision, a grander vision, a better vision for who we are. And so for me, it actually literally causes my body to undulate, and like I can feel it coming out, and I just let it come out energetically. So it may mean that I'm looking like I'm having a seizure or something, but I'm not. I'm having this energetic release, this catharsis of this energy that's been trapped in my body temple in those cellular memories. And now it's coming out. The energy is releasing. But when energy releases, you want to make sure that you're putting new energy back in because nature abhors a vacuum. So we then fill that vacuum with love and light and joy. And so we work our magic with creating a new belief system and creating a greater trust. So we got joy and we got catharsis. Another way that we can move into higher consciousness is by structuring. And what do I mean by that? So when we structure our lives, like our day, we'll just say our day. Let's just take a day at a time. If we structure our day and our lives in alignment with the higher aspects, with those higher forms of consciousness, if we begin our day with that, we begin a foundation or a structure of living in a joyous temple, in a grounded temple, in a however it is you need to structure. Sometimes it's all about grounding for me, to be grounded so that I have a grounded temple, so that when thought forms come, they just don't stay in the etheric. They actually can come down into this 3D, because a lot of people want to be in 5D, but hello, honey, we're right here in 3D, and we need to bring 5D down into 3D. That's the meaning of bringing heaven to earth. So we bring it here so that we can help transform and metamorphosize our world and our people. So already our vision is changing. Then there is another state of higher consciousness that helps with increased vision is celebration. When we begin to celebrate our lives, and we celebrate, like we were talking about butterflies earlier, like those butterflies, they cause you to feel lighthearted, they cause you to feel celebratory, but find reasons to celebrate, and that brings joy back in. Another way to lift your higher consciousness is through inspiration, to be inspirited. So that's when we allow spirit to just really speak to us. When we receive inspiration, we go, that was a great idea. Wow, those are God's visions coming into us. That's where we get that inspiration. It's not become our vision yet, but we can take God's vision if we choose, because we're still a free will incarnation. We can take God's vision and go, I want to live that vision. I want to grow in that vision. I want to live this bigger vision. So that will take commitment, that will take structuring, that will take energy to bring that about as we live a more inspirational, purposeful life. Becoming balanced is another way. So if you know you're out of balance in any area, we'll take the basics: food, exercise, breathing. If we're not in balance and in those areas or other areas in our life, that will also affect our vision. Because if we have old stuff hanging out that we know we really should handle and we don't, it just hangs out and hangs out and hangs out. It doesn't ever go away until we do the heroic thing and we just handle it. Creating solutions. I love this part. Solutions that's living in the realm of what else is possible. So what else is possible? So if something didn't work out, then it's go to, well, what else is possible? So it's keeping the vision alive and up leveling it at all times with a new possibility, and be open for the inspiration for that. You don't just go, what else is possible, and turn around and do the same old things. Go, what's possible, and sit and listen. Be in that divine communication. Be willing to receive the inspiration from source. Art. Hey, that's why I paint and draw all the time. Like, talk about the epitome of creation at all times. You have to be fluid in it and open to it, because some of the things that I think were just terrible mistakes end up being like, wow, I would have never thought of that. And I got a million examples of that, but I won't go into it. But art, creativity, be creative, because actually that's our natural state. We come from creator, we're part of creator, and that's what we do, is we create. And part of the work that I do is, I have a tagline that I say is, I'll help you remember who you are and help teach you to create. So that's the thing that people come to me usually want to know. I don't know who I am. Well, let's find out who you are. And they want to know how to create. So I help them, teach them how to create. So this is just a part of that creation. And it's always also going to another level of awareness. Be willing to go, I want to go to another level of awareness. So if you're in, just kind of neutral, it's like, let me try going into a little happiness today, or, or peace, or how about I just fill my heart with love and go out and blast that to everyone. So you're being willing to be in another level of awareness. Also playing around in the mystical realm. And I won't go into a lot of that today, and there's certainly lots of ways to do that, but to play in that mystical realm, in that realm you can't see, in that realm that is there. It's kind of like the air. We can't see it, but we know it's there because we breathe it. It's just like the same thing with divine source, God, creator. We can't see it, but we can see all its creation. This part is wonderful, having a wide vision. I'm also a photographer. So when I put a lens on my camera, so if I'm just going to, if I can put a zoom lens on my camera and I can zoom it way out and I can see minute, like I like to take pictures of the moon, and I like to look at the shadowy parts and find the rabbit and all of that. So that's using a zoom lens. But when I use a wide lens, I have a bigger landscape to look at. I'm not zooming in on one thing. I'm going, whoa, look at all of that. When I was teaching, I used to do this. I'd have all the students go, okay, put your hands in front of your eyes and just give a little crack there that you can see out of, right? So you can see out of the crack. Now open your fingers, open your fingers, open your hands. So begin to look at what's all around you. Have a wider vision about who's here. It's like checking in where you are, checking around. Who are you around? What's their frequency? Do you want to hang out with them? What's your vision? Which have a wider vision of your world, and then breaking away in a higher consciousness state means to let go of what's not working, being willing to go, okay. I trade actually for a living, trade in the stock market, and you never know what's going to happen in the stock market. You can have your well laid plans, but if you see that something's not going the way you want, you need to be willing to break away and not just have inflated hope that it's going to go in your direction. Really be present to where it is and go, oh, I see the market's changed. I need to break this off. I need to close that trade. I need to stop here, because if you don't, you're going to lose your tail. And so you have to be willing to let go, even if you think it's really good, like a really good idea. But if you see it's not going in the way that brings you joy or happiness or abundance, then you need to be willing to break away, to let it go. This probably is one of my favorite ways to raise your consciousness, is to becoming comfortable with the unknown. So that's where the visions lie, being comfortable with the unknown, because when we have a vision, it's not known as a tangible material thing in our world yet, but we're activating it in the unknown, in the mind of God, in the mind of Creator. We're activating it and we're coming into union with it. We're letting it resonate within us. And we become stronger in saying yes to that vision. It's like us in those humanitarian projects. We receive a vision, we receive this inspiration, we receive this divine idea. And those of us that are in those groups, we're the ones who have said yes to that. We don't have a clue how it's going to come to manifestation. All we know is we've said yes to this vision. We're keeping our frequency high. We every day I do this with my humanitarian project. I give thanks for it. I see it as complete. And that's my commitment to this project, is to see it as completion, because as I do that, more and more it comes into completion. It comes into that manifest form. And the other thing to give up is fear. Just flat out, just let that go. You feel fear, go, oh, I feel fear. I'm going to shift right now. Don't let fear, because fear will just take you down a dismal path. Everybody's been there. Everybody hates it. Nobody wants to be there. Yet it's like there's a trap and it's hard to get out if you don't immediately say, I let this go. So some lower consciousness, or lower on the map of consciousness that we really want to, if we come up and butt up against them, we need to shift, especially at this time where we are in the cosmology. Would be if you find you're having explosive reactions, if you find you're having confusion, if you're wasting time, if you're practicing escapism, if you're watching bad TV. I don't know. I don't have a TV, so I don't do that, but I know a lot of people who do. if we put restrictions on ourselves, if we try to control ourselves, if we're feeling pressured, if we're trying to force things to happen, and if we find we're not letting go. So those are lower consciousness that will prevent us from receiving a beautiful vision and saying yes to that vision and nurturing that vision. So I'd like to see us become a people of vision and a people with a greater vision. And that's why, we're coming into this, what they call the golden age or the Renaissance, a new age where unity and love and light and expansion of the human spirit is experienced rather than the squashing down we've had. It's our time to expand, become expansive in our thinking and in our feeling and in our knowing and in our vision. It's time to expand that. And again, check in. Where are you in this walk? Are you experiencing joy? If you're experiencing joy, you're right on track. If you're not experiencing joy, you need to go back, tap back in, find that joy, and then continue on. So that's about all I have to say about vision at this time. Do you have any questions about this, Daiga?
No, I think you explained very clearly everything. From me, I just wanted to say I differently what you doing, you checking in where emotions is in your body. Yeah, where they are in your body. At the moment, I still don't do that. I never learned this checking in the body where they are. That's more mindfulness, but I never done mindfulness course. Yeah.
Yeah, well, mindfulness is it's beautiful. Where I live in a co-housing community, and I have a partner in purpose here who's from India, and we created a mindfulness series for a whole year for our community, where we every day or every week we send out kind of a tickler for mindfulness. This month has been, last month was all about being mindful of colors, to just being in that exercise. You become keenly aware there's like thousands of shades of green. You just become acutely aware. It's not just green. It's it's pale green. It's bright green. It's shadowy green. It's ivy green. I mean, there's just like so many. You become mindful, and what that does, just practicing that, it becomes expansive. It expands your belief system about green, right? We've done it on breath. So mindfulness is, you don't really need a coursework on it. Just to be aware, just choose something to be mindful of. Mindfulness of breath. How are you breathing? That's and that will connect you to your body. So a lot of people are phobic about checking into their bodies. I'm going to take my sweater off because the sun is starting to pour into my apartment. So you've heard me refer to our body as our body temple.
Yes.
I call it a temple because this is where our soul and spirit reside. So wouldn't we want to know how the temple's doing, what's going on in the temple, right? So if there is discomfort that usually shows up that way as a pain or a discomfort, go there. Go to it. Bring your breath to it. Bring your attention to it. Be curious about it. Wow, what's going on there? And if you stay with it, you're going to find that that pain or that discomfort is giving you a message. And so you got to stay with it and let the message come. And then you can do that catharsis piece, right? If that's not bringing you joy, well, it's showing you, I'm not bringing you joy. It's showing itself so that it can be released. It's not showing itself to give you more grief. It's coming up to be released and let go. But people have such a hard time releasing and letting go. They keep it trapped. They keep it, and you can see if you, I love to people watch. I went to the fair this past week, and boy, you can see humanity in all its glory at a county fair. And I'm watching people, and you can see their posture, you can see how they hold themselves, it's like, and for my little intuitive heart that wants to help heal, and all I really need to do is just witness, and without judgment, just go, wow, that person had a really hard life, or or that person's experiencing a lot of joy right now. Let me try to match my joy with that one, right? So tapping into the body temple is really important, Daiga, because it's what houses our soul and our spirit. And just, it gives us a lot of information.
Yeah, I will try to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's available.
I usually, what I'm doing usually, I'm changing, I'm tapping in my feelings, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking at the moment. I'm tapping in that, and then I try already consciously change my mindset on something else. I don't need this thought.
Right.
I don't need this. I changing on something else.
Yeah, you can, and that's effective too. But if you have got a feeling that's recurring and it's a pattern, you actually really want to go, where am I feeling this in my body? What part of my body is because the feeling's going to happen. Well, how do you know it's happening? How do you know you got a feeling? How do you know? Right? Where is it? Right? So a feeling in and of itself is kind of invisible, right? But we feel it somewhere. There's somewhere where we're having an experience of it. And that's the part for people who want to really change their belief systems, change their strategies, going to that place where you experience it in your body. That's where the cellular memory is stored of that. And that feeling is usually a triggering of an earlier similar experience. So in psychology, you'll hear them talk about earlier similars. That's the same kind of experience that's triggering an old reaction to it. And that's the catharsis part, is to, if you really want to change your life, you got to change those aspects that are holding you back. And those feelings are those things that are holding you back. But you can also go, yeah, no, that's not great. I'm going to change this feeling to joy, right? I'm feeling whatever, frustrated, angry, whatever. Let me just shift this to joy because I can. So you can certainly do that.
Yeah, that's one of my techniques what I'm using instead of checking in where it is.
Yeah, works too. So what I would ask you in the audience is, what's your vision? Do you know what your vision is for yourself? And I'm not talking about the humanitarian part of it, because that's like a greater vision. That's like a collective vision. But what's your vision for who you are, what you are? And is that vision divinely inspired? Or is it human inspired, like competitiveness, or that energy of just check in? Neither of them are wrong. It's just like, where's that vision coming from? I again, I do a lot of trading, but I trade in a group of people, and I trade with that group of people because of their vision, because of their energy, because of what they've already accomplished. They're all multimillionaires, right? So it's like, why wouldn't I follow that path, right? Rather than struggling people. Or I've been in groups where, they people weren't even trading with real money, right? They're just like, they're having this experience, but it can't translate really in the world. So who are you following? Are you, is your vision one that is, do you have a big vision, but yet you're surrounded by a lot of negativity that's going to pull your vision down? It's going to cause you to doubt that vision. So ask yourself constantly on a daily basis, right? And I think I've told you, every day I wake up and go, oh, I'm still here. Oh, it's just like, it's almost like a surprise, oh, I'm still here. Okay. What do we got going today? Who do you want to bring to me today? What's my purpose today? Right? What's the vision for today? And so to check in then that's part of that structure piece that I was talking about before. Mm-hmm. Structure your rising and your living and your going to sleep. Structure all that in a way that supports the vision that you hold for yourself. So,
is there anything else you want to say to our viewers today?
Well, let me go back. I had a mission. Wait a minute. Let me go back. I wrote a mission down, and I think I didn't share it. Oh yeah, renew your faith. Renew your faith. So the mission, and that's the renewal of faith, is really easily accomplished in this period of the moon phase, cosmologically, where we are. It's given us this grace period where we can renew our faith and continually remember who we are. So what I'd like to do is just do a very short meditation. Are you okay with that?
Of course.
Yeah. So let's do a short, this, prayer meditation can be instantaneous. Sometimes we do them when we luxuriate in the aligning of our chakras and, getting all aligned. But the truth is, we can do it in a they call it the holy instant. I love that. I love that thought. The holy instant. It's like, boom, right now. It's kind of like how we do the ignite
chakras.
Right. Right. So, but it's the doing it. It's doing it. So let's take a few moments and make sure I'm going to get my feet on the floor. Get your feet on the floor. Make sure nothing's cross. Allow yourself to just be an open conduit of energy that can flow. Take a breath in. Hold it. And release that breath. Release it fully and completely. Empty the body temple. Take another breath in. Filling the body temple with that beautiful air and oxygen, letting it go down all the way to your feet, and then let that breath go. emptying it. And in the emptying it, it's releasing toxins, it's releasing restrictions. And now we're going to take a breath in, and this time we're going to envision that the air that we're breathing in is particulated with beautiful golden light. And we're going to breathe that light in and let that light come in and just bathe our body temples in that light. Vision the beautiful golden light droplets all around you. I'm loving that vision. And take a beautiful slow breath in. And let that golden light just dance inside your body, all the way down to your toes. And slowly let the breath out. Now find just your own natural rhythmic breathing as we become into this awareness of our body, how it's sitting, where we are, what we're connected to. And now that's our body. Now we're going to work with our energetic body. So we're going to just go chakra system on. So all the chakras lit up, spinning at the right rate for where we are. Open. Start feeling it in your body temple. Your chakras open. Check in with them. Base chakra, are you grounded? Sacral chakra, woo, that's your place of creativity. Solar plexus, there's your power. Your heart chakra, is it open? Is it closed? Open that heart chakra. Expand it, breathe into that heart chakra. Throat chakra, third eye, crown chakra, all the chakras above and below, all on now for everyone here and listening at any time. Take a breath in. And move your attention to your heart. And it's here I'm going to make a request of God Creator. And my request is, open the eyes of my heart. Take a breath into that request. Open the eyes of my heart so I can see you. Stay focused on your heart. Basking in that frequency of love. Inviting in unconditional love. Breathe that in. Open the eyes of my heart. And now we're going to ask, open the eyes of my mind. Take a breath in. Allowing in clarity with open eyes. Open the eyes of my mind. And my other request here is to open the eyes of my life. Take a breath in. My life, who I am in this three-dimensional experience. Open the eyes of my life so I can see clearly where my life is. And because we are all one, I ask now for the opening the eyes of all. Take a breath in. Open the eyes of all, Spirit, so they know who they are, what they are, who they are, where they are. And come back to your heart. Open the eyes of my heart so I can bear witness, so I can see clearly in love and in light. And with our eyes open, I ask Spirit to give me the vision that is congruent to who I truly am. Take a breath in. I allow myself to abide in patience and in unity with Divine Source Creator. I allow inspiration into my mind and my heart, my body temple, my life, and the life of all beings in our world. Take a breath in. I allow God's vision, God's love to be my vision, my love. Take a breath in and let it go. Releasing and letting go all the old belief systems and old visions that no longer work for you. Come back to your heart. Open the eyes of my heart so I can clearly see with my heart all. I can clearly see all that I look at, all that comes toward me, I can see. And I can ask, is this in alignment with my vision, with God's vision? And if you have received an inspiration, breathe that into your heart. If you have not received your inspiration during this time, it is coming. Become aware. Look for it. Anticipate it. It's being revealed. Be willing to let go of all the old baggage in order to receive. In the scriptures, it says you cannot put new wine into an old wineskin. That's because the old wineskin is already tainted with the old. We want to create a new body of the divine, a new body. And that's what the breath work is for. That's what the igniting of our chakras are for, is the opening of the heart and the inviting in of the inspiration. We create a new body temple to hold this sacred. Take a breath in. Now bring your awareness to your feet. Feel and experience your feet, knowing that this body is already changed and renewed just in this exercise we've done here today. You're allowing a greater energy into your entire body system to flow in and flow out. No obstructions, just a beautiful ease, beautiful flow. Smile. Bring that joy up. Offer that joy to the divine. Thank you. Thank you, Source Creator. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. And breathe in. And relax into your body temple, feeling your body more and more, feeling your legs moving around, bringing that joy all in. Move it around, move your hands. And so in gratitude for this time together today, for your willingness to hear this teaching on vision, because if you heard it, the lesson is yours. Thank you for allowing me to bless your lives in this beautiful way that I am inspired to do. And so in joy and in love and in goodness, I bless you all. I bless myself. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you, Morganne. Thank you. That was another beautiful message, another beautiful meditation.
Thank you, Source.
I so clearly, when you talk about this golden light and heart and everything, I see pictures so clearly. Very beautifully.
It's beautiful, and it's there. It's so there, and we don't take advantage of it. We don't. A lot of people can't see it.
I think when you starting, you probably won't see much. At least I know from my experience, when I just started those guided meditations, there was like, imagine this, imagine that. Okay, I imagine, but I don't see anything. Yeah, almost anything. But now I really clearly I see those sparkling golden light around me. I see this, and I myself I'm taking like if I need strength or something, yeah, I'm asking white light from above to come and help me, yeah, and give me strength, and I ask Creator, so I already imagine I don't need anymore like close my eyes and stood there and imagine put in meditative state. Doesn't matter, absolutely doesn't matter what I'm doing. I straight away can imagine this happening.
Yeah. And that light, what that light is that's coming in is information. So when you're asking for strength and you see that light coming down, that light is imbued with information. That's what that is. And it's just download strength. Download.
Download. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we download what it is we choose to experience. and we invite out what we no longer choose to experience.
I actually find another thing. I already told you I had to go back to 3D job for a little while, and I remember how I struggled previously before I left my long-term, permanent, long-term 3D job. I struggled to survive there. I really struggled. I needed out, I needed now. But in this job, yeah, I find different escape. I literally not there. It's very interesting how to explain my body doing what I have to do. Yeah. But my soul and my spirit is like, mostly I can tell you, like in Ghost, you see film Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Uh-huh.
Remember that moment when he was nearly dead and on the bed there was so many doctors looking after him and trying to wake him up and do something and everything, working very hard to rewind him up and back to life, and his spirit just left and he floated above. Yeah, that literally is this what I'm doing all day long in my 3D work. I'm floating somewhere above for moments and then off I go somewhere. I am somewhere else. I'm not there.
Mm. Mm.
And only if somebody starts talking to me, it straight away brings spirit back to this body. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I find it's actually maybe for somebody from 3D world job who listening could actually help as well, because this technique works for me definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're bringing heaven to your earthly job.
Yeah, I literally I'm not there. I'm touching base and off I go again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So
So that's living in the mystical and then coming back in. And
I know I don't know you are aware of Elizabeth April. She is she is talking, not talking, yeah, and talking as well. She is channeling Council, Galactic Federation of Light, and different beings from Galactic Federation of Light. And I just recently take her course of astro traveling, learning astro traveling. And after this astro traveling course, I actually managed to do this. I managed to separate myself.
Yep.
Yes. So,
Yep.
and off I go. Bye bye.
Right. Really. And we do it every night when we go to sleep. We separate.
But now I try to do it like where I want to go and program it what I want to do, not just go to sleep. But that's for different time.
That will be a beautiful conversation to have sometime.
That will be beautiful conversation, but for different time.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who watching us. Do you have anything, last words to tell everybody?
Figure out your vision.
Yes, figure out your vision. And from our hearts to yours, thank you very much for watching. Please, if you like our show, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because many more videos like this is coming and different people including is coming. So please don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for my YouTube Chanel. And God bless